Good morning, everyone, and I'm going to go ahead and click. No, it is already recorded to the cloud. Welcome to the Make Money Now coaching call, and it is Monday, November the 4th, 2019, and this is the inaugural presentation of my proprietary Farming on the 10's. And we'll talk a little bit about why farming is so important and what is farming and how to do it effectively. But a little bit of a disclosure, this is the Make Money Now coaching call. And now is a very loose term. What you are going to learn today is going to mean you are going to have, if you follow this and you do these things, you're going to have a 2020 where you don't need to make money now, because you have done the preparation of the work so that you are making money in the now in 2020. Let me real quick here, just run through a little bit of my experience. I was the number one new agent in Florida in 2005 and 2006, sold over 120 million in a single year. I've listed 120 properties in a single year. I am a national trainer and coach. I've owned 3 different brokerages. I've worked with every major brand. I am the former chief operating officer of The Real Recruiter and Chet Black Solutions, and I am a former Tom Ferry coach. And let's start off very simply with why farming. And I'm going to give you some of my reasons. One of the things, and I know most of you who follow me have heard this story before about how working as a Tom Ferry coach, we talked about the core four lead sources that all of the top agents have. The number one lead source in the core 4 is our center of influence. These are our friends, family, past clients, people that we know, people that love us. The number 2 is our geographic farm. And the less you drive, the more homes you can sell. The less you drive, the more homes you can sell. So one of the primary reasons for geographic farming is so you don't have to drive all over tarnation just to be an effective listing agent or selling agent. Because if you've got 10 listings that are all within a mile of each other, it means that the 20 buyers that you're working are probably going to be looking within that 10 miles as well. You will be able to leverage your time and your distance so that you can have the maximum number of clients. Next, the more homes you sell in an area, the more of an expert you become. So this gives us the ability to become a better expert in our area faster. Next, this is the fastest, most cost-effective long-term lead source after your center of influence. This is the fastest way to money from a cost-effective long-term lead source, other than calling up or talking to people that are in your center of influence and your sphere of influence. The other reason why I love farming is because it is one of the only sources where you can shift from sweat equity to check equity and go back and forth. And we will talk a little bit more about that on this coming Thursday in our mastermind around this. And we've got 2 that are going to be going on local, and we'll talk about them later in Allen, Texas, and in Las Colinas, Texas, and here on the Asian Business Explosion Facebook page. One of them will be streamed, not sure which one yet. So check equity and then sweat equity. So sweat equity is where I'm investing a lot of my time into something. Check equity is where I'm investing a minimal amount of time, but I'm leveraging my dollars. And we'll get into that in detail as we go through and look at the different aspects of a farm area. So choosing a farm area is extremely important. You want to choose an area that's nearby where you live. Ideally, it's where you do live or where you want to live. It has to be a neighborhood that you love and that you want to own as a real estate agent. If you don't like people that live there, don't farm it. You want to pick initially between 1 and 400 homes, depending upon your time and budget. I would suggest starting with 100 and then scaling up. So start with 100 homes, the 100 homes closest to your home or the 100 homes that are most in the center of this area that you want to farm. You want to do some research and you want to make sure that there's at least 10% average turnover. Here's how you find out average turnover. You draw around the area that you're looking to farm in your MLS, and you look at the solds over the last 3 years, and for 100 homes, 10% turnover going back 3 years would be 30 homes, right? So you want to make sure you're having about 10% every year. So if you're going back 3 years, it should be 30, 2 years, 20, 1 year, 10. But so that you've got a good rolling average, I say go back 3 years and make sure that your number is 30 per 100. That gives you a 10% average turnover. Next, you want to make sure when you look at those 30 homes that have sold over the last 3 years out of your 100, you want to make sure that there isn't any one single agent that has more than 20% market share. And if you are in an area where the only thing is where you've got high market share competition, reach out to me one-on-one and I'll help you work through that. That doesn't mean it's not workable. It's just a little bit different on how you would target that farm. So when you look at these 30 houses that have sold over the last 3 years, let me go ahead and silence my phone. And you want to make sure that of those 30 homes, 6 or more have not been sold by one person or listed by just one person. You want to make sure that you understand the people that live there. One of the biggest mistakes that I see people make is someone who lives in a $200,000 neighborhood wanting to farm a $1 million neighborhood and not understanding the dynamics of the people who live there. Not understanding what's important to them, what their priorities are. I'll tell you this right now. There is a huge difference between the $200,000 home and the $600,000 home, even in the marketing pieces when it comes to interacting with the people that live here. You're not going to be talking about how to save $7 a year with a high efficiency hot water heater in the $600,000 home, but this is something you would be talking about with the $200,000 home. Right? We're not going to be talking about hiring a landscape architect in a $2,000 home, but we might be talking about how to hire the best landscape architect with that $600,000 or that $700,000 or $800,000 home. In addition to you understanding them, be cognizant of will they respond to you. So I'll put this out. If you are a middle-aged white man like myself, I might not be the best person to farm a neighborhood that is a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood, being a middle-aged white man who does not speak Spanish. Like, that might not be the neighborhood that's going to respond to my English language marketing that I do into that neighborhood, right? So be cognizant of not just who you are and that you understand them, but that they will respond to you and to your messaging and to your face. Once we've chosen our farm, I want you to think about farming from the concept of a mega farm. Everyone always thinks about print pieces. Print is just one aspect. When you think about a band, I want you to think of your print marketing like it's your base. Right? So this is your baseline, boom, 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 right? It's your baseline. It's not it's not the lead guitar, and it's not the lead vocals. It's just that baseline that goes on, the consistent rhythm of your mega farm. Circle dialing is your lead vocals. We'll talk about the specificity and how often we need to be circle dialing, but if you are not committed to talking to these people on the phone, you probably should not be farming them. So we're going to do print marketing, we're going to do circle dialing, we're going to do email marketing, we are going to introduce some targeted digital marketing, we are going to have daily in-farm activities, we're going to do door knocking, we're going to do events, and we're going to do some social media and a Facebook niche page. Here's what I would say when looking at all of these things. This is what constitutes a mega farm. This is what is going to give you 20 to 30% market share, maybe even 50% market share over the next 2 to 3 years if you do all of these things. If you're going to cut some out, I would say that you're probably going to be cutting out things like the targeted digital marketing. You might be in a neighborhood where you cannot door knock. These daily in-farm activities, your circle dialing and your print marketing are essential. Events and door knocking in your Facebook are that next level. And then the targeted digital marketing is that master's class of farming. Now, let's talk about what these different things look like. So these are your daily in-farm activities. These are the things that you would be doing every day or 5 days a week in your farm. You're going to walk your dog, your cat, or yourself, or your iguana every day. Every day, you're going to walk in your farm area. This is so that people get an opportunity to consistently see you. Next, you're going to drive the entire neighborhood every day with hopefully your wrapped vehicle, if not wrapped, with your vehicle with your magnetic sign on the side of it. You're going to park your wrapped vehicle on the street, either in front of your home or in front of a friend's home or at the corner at the Starbucks, but you're going to make sure that your parked wrapped vehicle is in a highly visible location most days for at least a few hours each day. You are going to do one act of kindness every day for someone in your farm. This can be as simple as giving them a coupon or sending them an article, but it is a specific one-to-one, you and somebody that's in your farm every day, one person. You are going to preview all new listings as they come on the market, and we're going to talk about door knocking around those homes that we preview. But when a new listing comes on the market in your farm area, if it's not yours, you want to preview it within 24 hours of it coming on the market. You are going to work close by at someplace in the neighborhood that has high traffic. So a lot of people tell me, oh, well, Chris, I really like, going up and being in the corner at Panera Bread so I have my privacy. This is not about you having your privacy. This is about you being visible in your neighborhood. So you pick that nearest Starbucks and you go up there, and what you're going to see is a lot of people are going to be going in and out in the mornings. So get up there and have that be where you do your morning routine. You're there for an hour or two every morning. Your car's parked in the parking lot with your, and it's wrapped. People are going to see you every day, and they're going to get used to seeing you at that Starbucks. You're going to, after a week or two of doing this, you're going to have people walking up to you in the Starbucks asking you real estate questions, I guarantee it. So these are our daily in-farm activities. And if you're not willing to commit to doing these types of things in your farm, hold off on farming. You're probably not ready for it. So next, print marketing. So like I said, our print marketing is our base. What we want to make sure that we are doing, and this is why this is my farming on the 10's. I have been in farming, I have been in between two different farming philosophies. They're not that different. Gary Keller and Tom Ferry. So Gary Keller, if you read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, he talks about doing an 8x8 and a 12x12. So your first 8 weeks farming in an area, you have 8 marketing pieces that are going out by print, 1 a week for the first 8 weeks. And then you have 1 a month that's happening after that for the rest of your life, or the rest of the time that you're farming in that area. Tom Ferry flips this around and does it differently. He talks about how you need to be doing 2 print pieces every month forever, right? So here's what I'm going to say. Depending upon your market penetration and your market share, you're going to want to do 1 print piece on the 10's for your first 3 months, and then 2 mailers a month or 1 mailer a month, depending upon your penetration into your market. So if you've got your 100 houses that you're farming, so you're going to do a print piece on the, so this is November 10th, November 20th, November 30th, then December 10th, 20th, 30th, then January 10th, 20th, 30th. And then after that, if at this point you don't already have a listing, after those initial 3 months, go to 2 mailers a month until you have at least half of the listings in your farm area. When you have half the listings in your farm area, you can go down to 1 print piece a month. You're probably going to get up to half the listings within your first year. So basically what you're doing is you're doing 3 pieces a month for the first 3 months, and then you're doing 2 print pieces a month for the next 9 months, and after that you're doing 1 a month. If at any time you go below half, you crank it back up to the 2. You might have to crack it back to doing the 3 a month in order to get back in front of that farm area. So we're going to do 1 print piece on the 10th, 20th, and 30th of the month. So we're going to talk about check equity and check equity and sweat equity in the workshops that we're doing. But ideally, what you're looking at is your sweat equity are your handwritten note cards, your letters that you're writing and personally signing in your personally addressed envelopes. So if you're writing a letter, you want to personally sign it. If you're sending it something in an envelope, you want that envelope to be personally addressed. You want the return address either to be handwritten or one of those March of Dimes little sticky return address labels. This should not be from your real estate office. This should be from your home address. You want people to know where you live. You want them to know that you're their neighbor or soon to be neighbor. You want to make sure that your branding on these print pieces is consistent with all of your social media, with your business cards, with everything else. So this is Susan Alaskan. Susan Alaskan is one of the #1 agents in the country. She's a former coaching client of mine up in Jersey. She was the #1 agent in Bergen County in 2015. She is the #1 Coldwell Banker agent up in that area, and the #1 Coldwell Banker agent in the state of New Jersey. So you see that phone? That is not a new phone. So this was our negotiated update to her old picture, which was a picture of her from 20 years ago holding a red phone that was not cordless. It had the cord, and that was on all of her marketing pieces and had been for the past 15 years, 20 years. And then a couple of years ago, we updated it to her having a cordless phone because she said, nobody's going to believe I'm using a cell phone. And this is her marketing, and people are used to seeing this. This is what's on her website. This is what's on her 16,000 print pieces that she sends out every month. 16,000. They see this. They see her and the phone. It's her trademark. Do that type of brand consistency with your print marketing. Next, your Facebook and your social media. Again, that branding should be consistent throughout everything. What I strongly suggest doing is, in addition to your agent page, you should have a niche marketing page that is geographically specific. And I'll show you an example. I live right here at Coit Beltline, so I've got the Coit Beltline Facebook page. You want to curate a minimum of 5 posts per week that are non-real estate related. So in your geographic Facebook page, you want to have these 5 posts every week that have nothing to do with real estate. You're going to have 1 post per week that is real estate related, but not self-aggrandizing. Something along the lines of, oh, look at, this house over on Cottonwood Drive. It just came on the market. It's so cute. If you know of anybody, feel free to have them reach out to me. Or what do you think about this house? Or something along those lines. Something that isn't too direct in your face, give me business. You want to execute a strategy to get local likes and participation. So you're going to want to boost posts and market your page using very inexpensive, highly geographically targeted ad campaigns in order to get local likes. Ideally, you want people who live or work in this neighborhood and in this area liking the page. You really don't want people outside. You want to do some targeted Facebook ads. You're going to want to do some paid boosting of posts to get some further engagement. And you should join and participate in Nextdoor. And what I usually do is I cross-post things from Nextdoor to Facebook and Facebook over onto Nextdoor. And this is an example of a local page that I've had since 2013. I'm not really using it. I think Wannabatine and I had talked about them using it. But this is my hometown, Allen. Really simple posts. I love the outlet mall. What is your favorite shopping in Allen? As one of those 5 posts a week. My hometown, Allen. Coit Beltline. I've got a few others. If you want some examples, let me know. Reach out afterwards, and I can fill you in and give you some examples. Email. So in the beginning, we really don't have the email addresses of the people that are in our farm area, but we will over time. So what we want to do is we want to be getting them into a MailChimp account. In MailChimp, you can have up to 2,000 contacts, sending up to 10,000 emails a month for free. So set up a very specific MailChimp account just for your farm area. And go in and design 2 full HTML mailings each month that are going out from your local MailChimp account. Your content should mirror your direct mail and your calling campaigns. It should be value-based, so it should be more about giving value to them than it is about getting business from them. This is a great place in coordination to be marketing your events, and your open house invites should also be emailed. Circle dialing. So I use a dialer, Vulcan 7. I would strongly recommend using a dialer. I can basically call through my farm of 100 people and either leave messages or talk live to that entire 100 in about an hour or 2 a month per 100. So all residents should be called at least once a month using the dialer. I'm going to auto drop my voicemails, which means if they don't answer as I'm dialing through them, it's leaving them a generic voicemail from me. As you grow and as you scale your team, and as you add multiple farm areas and ISAs, this is also something you get your ISA doing, right? They're making the actual call, and the voicemail of you is what's dropping in the background. The content of the call and the voicemail should be in line with the monthly messaging. So if we're inviting people to our Thanksgiving celebration, feeding the homeless that we're doing on the 16th, let's just say, right? So our phone call should be about that, our email should be about that, and our print should be about those things that we're doing. Definitely every time you're doing an open house or an event, you want to be calling people and inviting them live. Door knocking. So here's what I would say. If you live in a neighborhood that does not allow door knocking, or if you're already highly engaged in a neighborhood that does not allow door knocking, then continue. If not, if you're just searching for a neighborhood and you haven't found your farm area yet, don't get one that you can't knock, because it's not worth it to start a brand new one, unless there's nothing else that works numbers-wise. Because door knocking is such a big part of farming. We want to make sure that every door is knocked at least once a quarter. We should have at least one face-to-face contact with every resident at least once a year. We want to have a value-based script for our door knocking, and we want to have a leave behind that is in line. So, hi, it's Chris. I'm doing an open house at Betty and Susie's house up the street, and I just wanted to invite you. And here, I don't know if you ever go up to Bob's Pizzeria up here at the corner, but I had a bunch of buy one, get one coupons that Bob gave me. And so I just wanted to leave one of these with you. Have a great day. Boom, on to the next one. You're demonstrating your competence and your relevance over time. So immediate neighbors to be knocked following all previews and showings in the farm, 2 on each side and 4 across the street minimum. So the houses that come on the market that you're going out to preview, After you previewed that home, knock on the 2 doors on either side of that house and the 4 across the street. Talk to them about that house, how it's coming on the market. Ask them for any ideas that they might have, etc. Definitely want to be door knocking to invite neighbors to attend our open houses and to announce all our just listeds. Co-door knock with other people, Girl Scouts, other charities. There's always a local, the local high school band is always trying to raise money. If you're having trouble finding one, go to your local church or school guidance counselor or a friend that has kids in the neighborhood and ask them how you can help support doing some fundraising for their kids, and then co-door knock with them. Always have a gift in your pocket. Always have a gift in your pocket. Two types of gifts you should always have in your pocket is swag. You should always have some swag. So, you know, whether it's pens with your name and phone number on it or calendars or whatever it is, always have some swag and always have a coupon to a local restaurant. Those are my 2 big things that I always like to have in my pocket that I can give to anyone that I meet, especially when I'm door knocking. All right, events. You need to do a quarterly event that gives you an opportunity to engage your farm face-to-face. Mega open houses are good events to use for these. They can be used as your quarterly event. And the good thing with the mega open houses, you can do mega open houses once a month and do a monthly event. That's even better. But at least every quarter, you should be doing an event that you're inviting everyone you know to, your entire sphere, your center of influence, and your farm. Gives you a great opportunity to engage your farm in the invitation process. So even if you are doing an event that isn't necessarily in your farm, so let's say you go and you buy 200 tickets to, you know, $1, grandstand tickets to an FC Dallas game. I don't know what they cost, but something like that. And you call up everybody that you know in the entire farm and say, hey, I've got extra tickets. Would you like to go? That type of thing. Events that cost money, get them sponsored by mortgage people and other trades. It's a way for you to mitigate your costs on your events, and they usually have budget, and they're more than willing to participate in those things. Always engage local businesses. They want to partner with you. Local businesses want to partner with you on engaging in the neighborhood and engaging in your farm. Beauty parlors, restaurants, bars, cafes, stores, knick-knack stores, everything that's like privately owned, like small entrepreneurial type businesses, all of them want to partner with you in this. Local doctors, local dentists, local vets, grooming, they all want to partner with you because you have a way in the door that they might not have with the people in your farm. So targeted digital marketing. If you are not familiar with retargeting using AdWorks or Retarga, you need to learn about it. This is basically a way that you have the ability to push advertising to someone's searches on both Google AdWords, those types of things, but this is more in their the things that they're searching online. Your ads will show up, and also in Facebook, in the things that they're seeing on Facebook, they will begin to see your ads using AdWorks Retarga. These are good branding ads and ads. You want to make sure that they're in line with the messaging that you have for that month. So people who live on the farms can be targeted by their email addresses on Facebook as well. So you can do a Facebook ad just to a certain set of email addresses once you have the email addresses of the people in your farm. Also, your new listings can be promoted to people who live in that area, in addition to just like a just listed postcard. It just gives you the ability to reach more people better. All right, so what's next? As always, this is my email address, chris1234weaver@gmail.com. This is my phone number. If you've got questions, if you want to reach out, I saw that there was a hand raised earlier. Feel free to reach out to me either by text or email. I'd love to answer any questions that you might have from before. Sorry, I didn't have time to stop and answer. We are going to be doing this farming workshop, Allen and Las Colinas. We're going to be talking about both the check equity and the sweat equity, and actually beginning to put together some of our print pieces for now in November for the 10th, 20th, and 30th. So if you're not sure where we meet or how we meet, reach out to me and I can help you get there, or whoever invited you to this call. So as soon as this is over in 1 minute, we are going to have our talent attraction coaching webinar. It's the same exact, I'm just going to stop the recording. We'll go right into talent attraction. If you're interested in what we do around talent attraction EXP, definitely feel free to stay around. And then at 11, Bettina is going to be doing the EXP Explained. If you want that link to go to and you don't have it, reach out and we can get it to you. If you're an EXP person, you should be on it because the more we see the presentation, the better we understand what it is we're going to be presenting. And if you haven't seen the EXP presentation, you're a non-EXP person, we would definitely invite you to see the model and give us your feedback on it. Like I said, the talent attraction call is going to be right now. Just as I finish up, I have a YouTube channel. I put the recordings of all of my coaching calls onto the YouTube channel. I've been given feedback that it's hard to find. So this is what it looks like. So when you type Chris Weaver, if you don't see this black picture with the red tie, that's not me. That's another Chris Weaver. There are 2 other Chris Weavers who are in real estate, and both of them are actually really freaking good, which I love. Representing the name. And then there's the Chris Weaver Band, which is a band. So you might have to search a little bit, but this is what it looks like. And I have a good number of videos that are up there. Also the Make Money Now coaching group, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the share and go ahead over here and stop the recording.